Larry Zalata. He's a sales engineer for URC, so he will be there to help answer any questions afterwards. We do have a lot to cover, and we only have, try and keep it to 20 minutes if possible. So what I recommend doing is we are going to, if you guys have any questions during the webinar, please post them in the questions box, and we will take as much time as needed after the webinar to answer all of your guys' questions. So today we are going over MX HomePro, which is a line from URC, or you guys may know as Universal Remote Control. So again, I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy schedules to learn about MX HomePro. First, we're going to go over where MX HomePro lands in the URC lineup. URC has three different categories or three different product lines. They have Complete Control, MX HomePro, and Total Control. So before we get into MX HomePro specifically, I kind of want to go over all three. Complete Control has been around for many years. If you guys have ever used URC products, you've probably used the Complete Control line. That's going to be more of your legacy product users that are only needing IR or RF control. It is not network controlled, it is off the network. So that's great for your IR and RF programming or needs. MX HomePro lands right in the middle. What MX HomePro is it's able to control all of your entertainment pieces as well as tie into smart home technology. This is network-based product, so it gives you the ability to tie into network products. And then Total Control is actually the premium whole home automation and control from URC. What that gives you is a full automation system. So to kind of, I want to go over MX HomePro and Total Control again. MX HomePro is to control your entertainment pieces for one room up to about 5 rooms, and to be able to tie in all of your smart home technology, so your IoT devices, your Z-Wave. We'll get into a little more of that later. If you want a full automation system, you're going to want to jump up to Total Control. So let's get into what MX HomePro is a little more. First, what we're going to cover today is the features and benefits of MX HomePro, the parts and the pieces of MX HomePro, which specifically is the hub, the remote, and the app. We're going to go over getting started, what you need to know, how to get started, setting up a dealer account, the benefits of a dealer account, how-to tutorials, where to find them, which rolls into the training resources. So URC designed MX HomePro to address the needs of today's customers. What that means is they've had Complete Control line, which is IR and RF, for many years. But a lot of customers did not need to jump up to a full automation system, but they did need to tie into today's technology, the smart home devices, the IoT, the IP control devices, which Complete Control really couldn't do. So this is where MX HomePro was designed to hit. It's affordable. It gives you the two-way feedback from all of your IoT devices, your internet devices, your IP devices, for multi-room or smart home systems. And the really cool thing is it does not require any special programming knowledge. It is extremely easy to program. We're going to get into how easy it is in a bit. First, let's get into some of the features and benefits. At its heart, MX HomePro, again, controls all of your entertainment equipment, all of your AV gear, but it also controls all of the internet devices, which includes Z-Wave lighting, Z-Wave products, Lutron lighting systems, Philips Hue, Caseta, and a lot of other devices. Okay, this list goes on, but we're going to try and keep it to the 20-minute mark. It also controls, since it is internet, it's able to control your thermostats, all of your Nest products, your Nest thermostats, your Nest Protect, your Honeywell products. And again, the list keeps going on. We'll get into a little more later. Locks and surveillance cameras. So you're able to view all of your cameras from the app, from the phone. You're able to view your locks, control your locks. All Z-Wave products are able to be controlled via the MX HomePro system. So that opens up a huge door into Z-Wave. And getting into Z-Wave, you're able to lock and unlock your door, lights, thermostats, all via Z-Wave. There are thousands of Z-Wave devices that are able to be controlled via MX HomePro. It also gives you one-way control of all your other devices. It's able to support scenes, house modes, send notifications via email or text. It also is able to connect via wired or wireless the Z-Wave hub. If you guys haven't gotten into Z-Wave, I would extremely look into it. It's a really robust mesh network control system that is really easy to integrate. It gives you so much compatibility and control at a huge price point. It opens up the door for controlling systems that you may have not have thought about as a commercial integrator or a custom integrator before. So really take a look at Z-Wave. MX HomePro ties into Z-Wave really well. So now we can integrate the smart home features and the AV gear together. Some of the Z-Wave lighting, Vivito by URC. Vivito lighting is a Z-Wave lighting that is made by URC, and it gives you full two-way feedback. It gives you Alexa integration. I'm going to repeat that. It gives you Alexa integration. Okay, so URC MX HomePro and Vivito lighting is able to control the Amazon Alexa. It gives you a nice, comfortable solution to be able to integrate. Like I said before, it's really easy to integrate with. It gives simple, no extra wires. You can just go around, replace your light switches, your dimmers, anything else, receptacles, and you don't need any special wiring involved, so easy retrofit. It also gives you profit. Great margins. URC has done an amazing job at price protecting, so you're not going to find these things online. You're going to be able to keep your margins and make money. Again, we're all here to make money, guys, so being able to save those and be able to keep your profit in products is huge, and find all those lines to be able to do that is harder and harder every day, and URC does a great job at that. And all of the URC lighting is brought up and gives you 3 color choices. You're not going to get your 27 colors that Lutron gives you, sorry guys, but you do have your light almond, your white, and your black. And that's going to cover most of your install needs, okay? But if you run into a situation where you do need those 27 colors, MX HomePro is able to tie into your Lutron products as well. Some of the features of going with the URC Vivito lighting over another Z-Wave product is, first, pattern and blinking for pairing, okay? What that is if you're doing, let's say, anything from 5 light switches up to, let's say, 70 or 100 light switches. When you're walking around and you're pairing these light switches or dimmers, that gives you walk around and next thing you know, you forget to pair a switch. Everybody's forgot to pair a switch. This helps you not forget. When you walk around, if a switch or a dimmer or a URC product has not been paired yet, the light is actually blinking on it saying, hey, I haven't been paired, pair me. So that's going to now be able to make sure that you don't forget a device. Really nice, cool feature. It also gives you, since it is using Z-Wave Plus, you're able to discover and add devices through the mesh network. Z-Wave is a mesh network, meaning devices communicate with each other, not strictly straight to the hub. And what that does is it gives you a much farther range to be able to add devices, and you don't need to add repeaters or walk around with your hub to add devices. Much easier to integrate, much easier to program. It gives you a burst mode. It gives you easy association for accessories, meaning 3-way switches and others. Again, when we say it's really easy to retrofit, if you've got a 3-way, a 4-way, a 5-way light switch, and before you had to run tracer wires or you want to add a light, now this all communicates via RF. So you don't need that tracer wire. You want to add another light switch for a 3-way light, all you got to do is get power to it. It doesn't even have to be on the same circuit because it's tied via RF through Z-Wave. Some of the other features built into these light switches and dimmers is a double tap for scene control. So if you walk up and you hit that light switch twice or dimmer, you can actually not just turn on and off that light, but you can now activate a full scene. You don't need a large scene controller or a separate keypad to be able to activate a scene. You go up and you tap it 3 times, you can get a panic mode. Or also, above and beyond a panic mode, they have a lockout feature. So if anybody has had little kids that like to go up and turn on and off light switches, believe me, I got a 40-year-old that loves to turn on and off light switches, and it's really annoying. I can actually lock out that light so it's only able to be controlled through the URC MX HomePro. So I can still control the scenes. I can turn on and off the switches, but it virtually deactivates that actual switch on the wall unless you then go and tap it 4 times again. So some really cool features. Another really cool feature with this is a lot of Z-Wave devices and a lot of light switches and dimmers in general have the heat sinks on the side. The problem with putting the heat sinks on the side, if you put 2 switches in a box and you have to break off some of those heat sinks, now they went from 600 watts to 500 watts. And if you got 3 switches or more, you break off the 2 heat sinks for the middle switch to be able to fit it in there. Now that middle switch is only 400 watt rating. The really cool thing about these is the actual heat sinks are on the top and the bottom of that switch. You can see in that picture. And by doing that, you can put as many switches or dimmers in a box as you want, and they all stay 600 watt rating. So there is no derating involved. Really cool feature to be able to add without having to worry about load features. And it takes, like I said before, standard wiring. So let's get into some of the options that you have. You've got in-wall dimmers, 600 watts and 1,000 watts. The 600 watt dimmer comes in both neutral and non-neutral wiring. Okay. Keep in mind though, always any new home is going to have a neutral. You always want to spec it neutral if possible, because if you go with the neutral version, you're able to do it. It's an all-load dimmer, meaning that you're able to now control LED, incandescent, CFL, everything. If you go with non-neutral, then you need to worry about just standard lighting. You have in-wall switches. You get in-wall accessory dimmers and switches, which are able to communicate via RF. You've got in-wall receptacles. You've got 5-button keypads. You've got plug-in dimmers, utility switches, battery-powered accessory dimmers. This battery power accessory dimmer work is a really cool piece. If you look at it, it looks like a standard light switch on the wall, but it's only the thickness of a wall plate, and it's battery powered, meaning you can place this anywhere. You don't even need a box on the wall. You could take screws or heck, double-sided sticky tape, slap it on there. And the cool feature is as well, it doesn't just work as an accessory piece, or accessory dimmer. It also can be a scene controller. You can control it as a turn on and off the house, whatever it is. So it's a really cool little controller that you can slap anywhere. Now let's get into what is MX HomePro. What does it consist of? First piece is it comes with a little hub. That's the brains of the system. It is small, compact, really easy. We're going to give you some more pictures here in a second. It also has both iOS and Android app and an advanced Wi-Fi handheld remote control. Again, this is Wi-Fi, okay? It's not IR, it's not RF. It is connected to the network, full Wi-Fi, which gives you the nice two-way feedback. And you have a Z-Wave bridge to be able to tie in all of those Z-Wave products that we just talked about. Now let's get into the hub. The hub is the brains of the system. Okay, you need at least one hub for every system. It is connected to the network. Okay, so everything, like I said, it's an app, it's a Wi-Fi remote. It needs to be connected to the network. Okay, guys. If you don't have network connection, then we've got other lines. We've got complete control to be able to cover that. But that's not why we're here. All right. By having the hub, you're able to control it via the app or through the remote. You need a single hub at least one hub to get started. Okay, guys? But a system can support up to 15 hubs in 5 different rooms. So that's 3 different hubs per room. Okay, that's a lot of IR ports, guys. Okay, so you're going to be able to expand this as you need. You want to start with 1 room, you can add another room as you go, up to 5 rooms, and you can do up to 3 hubs per room. What the hub has, it has 4 IR ports on the back, it has a front IR blaster, and it does all of your IP communication. Sorry, guys, for that. It also is really small, easy to mount and hide. When they say it's easy to mount and hide, if you look at the bottom picture, you see that plate on the very bottom. That actually slides on and off. It has 4 mounting screws that come with it. So that way you have the ability to mount it on the walls, anywhere on the back of the TV. Really nice and easy to integrate with, easy to hide wherever you want it. Okay. The MX HomePro also has the app. You're able to control all of your devices from any mobile device, not just iOS, not just Android, everywhere. Okay. It can control all the rooms in your project. You can see right there that you can actually jump right between rooms. Okay, it's going to be able to control all your normal controllers, but it also gives you deeper menus if you want. So if you want to jump into deeper menus, you can. You can hide them, you can add them. You can customize this to your end user. All right. And also, one really cool feature that they did is they really took advantage of an in-app launcher, is what they call it. And what that does, it gives you the ability to send and receive 2-way feedback from your Sonos, your Denon Hios, your Nest, and a ton of other 2-way communication devices. And by hitting that button, it's going to run your macro to turn everything on, and then it's going to jump to the native app. Okay. Manufacturers create really nice apps. So people really love the Denon Hios app, the Nest app. Instead of having URC try and recreate that to make it work inside of their own app, what they did is they created a button to run a macro and be able to jump to the native app, which makes it really nice and easy. Let's get into the URC Home app. Okay, this is a separate app. It adds into your in-app launcher, but this is for your Z-Wave. Okay, so if you have Z-Wave thermostats, Z-Wave lighting, Z-Wave door locks, it's all going to be controlled through this. Okay, you're able to view all of the status from all of your different devices. You're able to view your camera feeds. So if you have Z-Wave cameras, you're able to view them right here. You're able to send and receive notifications from sensors, devices, and so much more. You're able to control all of your Z-Wave devices, everything, right from this app. Okay, both remotely, off-site, or locally. So you're able to, again, you're able to control your whole smart home through this app. Now with the remote, first thing, big bold letters there, designed for single room application. Okay, I want to repeat that. Single room application. Okay, what that means is if you want a remote in 2 rooms, you're going to want to get 2 different remotes. This remote was designed to stay in the room that it's in. It's not a roaming remote, meaning you're not going to want to pick it up, bring it to another room, and control another room. Okay, this remote is built to control all of your audio video gear in the room. Okay, guys, and everybody here knows nothing beats a handheld remote. Okay, I understand there's apps for everything. But with that said, if you guys have ever tried to control your TV from an app, it's a nightmare. You want to control volume, you got to open up the app, you got to then look down, hit the volume, hit the play, hit the pause. It takes you away from what you're watching, and you can't easily just grab a remote and hit the pause button, hit the volume up, hit the volume down, hit the mute. Nothing replaces a remote. No matter where we go with technology, nothing's going to replace a remote. Okay, this is a quick connect Wi-Fi remote. It is a Wi-Fi remote, guys. Okay, what that means is there's no IR. All right, I know people are going to ask that again. So there is no direct IR coming out of this remote. It's all through the network. You need a hub, and take one of those IR ports or use the IR blaster in the front to control your devices. Okay. Before I go any farther, I forgot to mention something on the app. The app is free. All of the apps are free, whether it's the MX Home app for controlling all your Z-Wave products or the right URC MX HomePro app. Whether it's iOS or Android, it's free. It comes with the hub, okay? So I forgot to mention that, guys, and I apologize. Back to the remote. So with the recharge, what it is a rechargeable lithium polymer battery. It comes with a USB charger, okay? This does not have a docking cradle, guys. It does have a USB port on the bottom for charging, so just keep that in mind. But it is a rechargeable lithium polymer battery. Okay, so really nice long battery life, and you just plug it in just like a phone. Everybody's used to plugging something in. And it's not one of those devices where if you get to plug it in, it's going to be dead in a couple hours or the next day. It does have a really long battery life. So, and it does charge very fast. And the really cool thing about this, if for some reason it didn't get charged, as soon as you plug it in, that remote's going to boot up and you can use it. It can be hardwired, it can be plugged in, and you can still use it. So it's not the end of the world if it dies, if it doesn't have a rechargeable base, because you plug it in and it's good to go. A really cool feature is it has channel favorites, and they sync between the remote and the app. So you're going to be able to see what's on. If you grab the remote, the app is going to stay in sync. So you can also view security videos. So if you have Z-Wave cameras throughout your house, you can actually view them right on the remote. So if somebody comes in and they hit the doorbell, you can actually pull up the camera feed. You can see if it's grandma coming up there or the mother-in-law, and you can decide whether or not to lock or unlock your door without getting up out of your home theater. It does support your two-way modules. So you're going to be able to view your thermostats, your locks, your lighting, all right from the remote and control them. Now, getting into this, URC offers 2 free two-way modules. Okay, so you don't have to pay for modules. Every module that was created by URC is free. Communication via IP for all of your entertainment stuff, your Sonos, your Denon Hios, your Bose, it keeps going on. Your lighting, your Caseta, your RA2, your Z-Wave lighting, Vivito lighting, your Philips Hue, and the list keeps going. Your climate control, so your Lutron, your Hunter Douglas, your Nest, your Cool Automation, your Honeywell, your April Air, and again, the list goes on, guys. And your Z-Wave features, your safety features, your lighting, your locks. This list is ever growing. It's always expanding. So to get the updated list, you'll want to hop onto the URC Universal Remote Control dealer portal, and you'll be able to view where that list is at. Now let's get into setting it up. Okay, we went through some of the products. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty. How do you program this thing? Well, you need to have a computer running Windows 10, 64 gigs of data, or RAM. No, guys, it's very simple, very easy. You just need a web browser, which means you can do it from anywhere. You don't even need a computer. You can do it. Everybody's got a phone or a tablet now. You can do it right from your mobile devices. Now, if you're like me, I like to program it from a computer. You can do it right from a computer via a web browser as well. You don't need any special hardware because it is web browser based. It's cloud based, so you don't need any software. You don't need to worry about your new tech running out and going, crap, I forgot to download the software, this job site. You can do it right here, right on the web browser, very easy. And it works with any connected device to the network. Now, initial setup, guys, this is really, pay attention, okay, because this is really hard. You're going to make sure your router is connected to the internet, okay? Again, you need internet, but again, just make sure you got internet. Plug it into the hub with an Ethernet cable and power up your hub. That's it. Okay, now you're all set up. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab your remote or the app. Again, maybe you didn't sell a remote. Maybe they're just using the app. When you open it for the first time, if it's a remote, you're not going to be able to go any farther until you see this. You're going to see Get Started. You can't go any farther. If you have the app, you're going to select Set up a new system. Next thing, you're going to connect to the wireless network on the remote. Okay, it'll automatically do a network scan. You can refresh it right there if you want. You'll connect it to the wireless network. Now, this is very important, guys. Make sure you connect it to the wireless network that is connected to the hub. Okay, it's got to be on the same network. So you'll want to make sure that it is connected to the same network as the hub is on. Then, obviously, your phone is already connected to the wireless network. Next thing you're going to do is it will scan the network, and it's going to find the base station. Okay, they are going to be via MAC address, so you'll want to make sure you know what MAC address. If you have multiple hubs in the system, you'll want to just pick one and find out, which one is going to be your master. So you'll select the base station or the hub. The next thing you're going to do, then it's going to pop up with this right here, URC programming key. You'll want to make a note of that programming key because you'll need to use that in your cloud-based programming through the web browser. Next, if you guys are deciding to use the hub via wireless, you've already connected to the hub. Now you can unplug the network cable and make sure that the wireless is working. You can select OK. If you're staying hardwired, you just hit OK. All right? Now, again, make sure you make a note of that programming key. You're going to use it in the portal. You're done right now from the app or the phone or the remote. Now you're going to jump to the web browser. You're going to hit Register New System. This is where you're going to put in the programming key. And you need to create a new user account. First of all, this window is going to pop up. And you see enter your email address here. It says enter your email address here, not your customer's, your email address. Okay, so you're going to want to put in your own email address because that's what's going to send you the temporary password to get started. Now, you're going to take that temporary password that you got in the email, you're going to put that in right there. You're then going to enter the user's email address. That's not yours, that's the customer's. Okay, it's stated in there, so I just want to make sure when it says your, that means it's your email address. When it says user's, that's the customer's email address. So you're going to put that customer email address there. You're going to enter a username for the customer, not you, the customer. You're going to enter the password for the customer, and you're going to confirm the customer's password. Okay. Now, you've set up the account. This is where it lands, the next page. First is, what room is the hub in? Okay, you don't have to overthink this. If it's in the living room, put it in the living room. All right? And then you're going to put in the name of the system. So, John's house, JR's residence, whatever it is, you can put that in. All right? This is not really for the end user. This is the info for you, for the dealer, okay, for you. So when you open it up, you're going to be able to see all of this info. Next, you're going to put in the time zone. Again, this has event timers, everything else. So you can now program it right from here. That's where you're going to put that info. And then you're going to enter the customer's info, their address, their phone number. Okay. This is just contact info. Again, it's for you when you go back later. Now you've installed 50, 100 of these systems. You have all of this info right in here when you open it up, so you can now find out what the customer's contact info, which installer of yours programmed it. Okay. So you're going to put in the installer's name and the customer's name. Now you're able to store and manage the jobs and associates from the cloud server. Okay, now you're able to set up also including sub-accounts, meaning your installer you may be able to give the installer certain features, but you don't want them going and mess with certain things. You can actually set up sub-accounts, which is really cool. You have an account for your Salesforce. You have an account for your installers or specific installers. And that's all right to the dealer portal. You're able to create and save rooms and device templates now for your team to use. So if you guys have specific devices that you guys like, you can tailor it to how you want it set up, and you can save that as a template for everybody to use in the future, or specific rooms. Maybe you guys are doing kind of cookie cutter, you know, where you want to lay out theaters the same way, okay? Or great rooms, or whatever it is. You can now lay out room templates as well. Be able to just grab, drag, and drop. Again, cut down on programming, make more money, and go to the next job site. You're able to create Z-Wave accounts, which gives you the ability to integrate to all Z-Wave products through the MX HomePro. Once you get into it, you're able to add system settings. Okay, this is where you're going to now, you're going to see this pop up and verify that the dealer employee account has been set up. Once it's set up, you're able to see job lists. Okay, so now you can actually see all of the jobs that are on here, and you can look at the details. You can go in and you can now save those room templates. You can export, import. You can do a virtual editor. Okay? And from anywhere, guys. How much does it take when you go to run on site? You get a call and say, hey, I need a button changed. I want to add this. I want to change the layout or switch it to a different input. I want a different favorite channel, you know, on my startup. Before that would always you'd have to roll a truck. And now, even if the job, it's only a 15-minute change on site, now you got an hour each way. So now it's a 2-3 half day to go change a 15 minutes. And the customer doesn't like that bill. You really don't like to have to try and take a half a day to go do a 15-minute job. You guys can now just hop online, make that change right from your office, from your couch, in your underwear, whatever you're doing, and be able to still punch it in real quick, 5, 10, 15 minutes, however long it takes, re-download real quick from remote, off-site, and send the customer a $50 bill, whatever it is, without ever having to stop what you're doing and hop in the truck and drive. So again, much easier to manage, much more money, and less stress. So with all of that, now you're going, okay, well, we kind of figured out how to program it now, or how to set it up. Where do I go to actually learn this stuff if I want to learn more? Training resources. First, go to the URC control room. Okay, you click on the MX HomePro tab, and you're going to see a massive list of materials from marketing, sales, training, everything. Okay, you can also go to the URC University, which is going to give you training courses, live events, webinars. It's going to be able to give you all of that info. And right in the web browser, when you're programming, there's a help tab. Okay, so now you don't have to go and try and find or call. You can click the help tab, which is going to give you owner's manuals, quick start guides on how to, I forgot where this program key goes. It's all right in the quick start guide. So guys, that is MX HomePro. And I just want to thank you guys for coming. Before we get any farther, I want to